I'm Emma G. Rose.
I'm Shel Shearer. We're indie authors.
And this is Indie Book Talk. Hello and welcome back to Indie Book Talk. Today we have Shanti Hershenson, author of The God's Right Hand, which just came out. The interesting thing about Shanti, you guys aren't going to believe this. She is 14 years old and she has written roughly a bajillion books. Shanti, how many actual books have you written?
Considering I just finished writing one yesterday, the number is now 16.
Oh, stop it.
How many have you published?
Not 10, not 9.
10. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I totally applaud the fact that you really went for it. What made you decide to go ahead and publish your first book, officially publish?
I've always been really into writing. I have memories of just writing these little booklets when I was maybe about 5-6 years old. However, right before the pandemic and then during, I kind of decided I needed an outlet. I was bored at home. I had nothing to do. And that kind of turned to publishing books. Mm-hmm. It went from I was unable to write a lot to the first book I ever wrote, novel, not short story I published, but my first novel was this 800-page long, 250,000 word novel that I've split into multiple books since because that's too long to publish and it's quite long to edit. So yeah.
Okay, and what book was your first published one?
My first published book was technically Odyssey. It's this children's novella I did with my friend in 6th grade. I didn't even expect to publish it. I just honestly wanted a printed version of it and discovered what KDP was, and one thing led to another. I don't really like that book just because it's really short. It's not that good. It's very funny to read. It should be republished in the humor genre. As for first novel was Biomlock. Again, that wasn't my first published book because when I was writing Biomlock, and mainly when I was editing it, I started working on other projects. So technically, my first published book was The Nightmare of Zelda, which I did while working on Biomlock, and that's now a completed series.
I have so many. Okay, stop. First. Do you go to school?
Yeah. I'm in 8th grade, so yeah, I go to middle school. So yeah.
You're in middle school. You've published 10 books in what sounds like a fairly short time. Do you have authors in your family, or did anyone teach you how to do this, or did you just decide that this is what you were going to do now?
I decided I was going to do it, and then went and got help. I feel like there are authors in my family. It's I know my parents like to write, my sister likes to write. I've written the most books, though, so...
That's a weird flex at family events. Oh yes, I've written more books than you, and I'm 14. Thank you. Yeah. I don't even know where to go from. Who are your inspirations? What authors do you like? Who makes you want to be I want to write like that?
As for writing style, my biggest inspiration for kind of quality of writing and writing style is probably Leigh Bardugo. I've read all of her books. I'm fairly obsessed with them. And just the way she kind of develops her characters and has these backstories is amazing to me.
I don't think I know of that person. I'll have to look them up. So does anyone help you with these? Who does your editing and your book covers, that kind of thing?
I have a writing coach that helps me edit my books because I can't edit them alone. Oh my gosh, the amount of plot holes that'll be in these books. And I'm a horrible editor. Just for context, I will sit there and I will look at the screen and I will not know what to change. I usually have to take breaks and in between my drafts to write another book because I can't look at it as soon as I finish it, or I won't be able to find anything to fix. Or there'll be things I'll think of I want to add this. But when it's actually time to sit down and write, I'll be maybe I don't need this. As for cover art, I hire a bunch of different designers on the internet because, again, I don't really have much of an artistic ability. So if I were to design my covers, they would look like something a 4th grader photoshopped for class. So,
well, you're already showing more business acumen than a lot of adult writers out there. You know what you need help with and you're getting it.
Yeah.
Do your parents fund your endeavors, or do you have a job also? I don't, no question is too weird at this point. If you were yeah, actually I'm a model on the side and I make, $100,000 a year doing that, I'd be oh, of course you do.
Definitely it's my parents had to give me money at first, and they still have to give me money sometimes, but usually all the money I make on my books is just thrown right back into affording these cover designers and stuff, and that usually helps. It's like right now it's like I don't even know how much I make on book sales. I haven't paid attention to that in a few months. But like all that money goes back into affording like book cover art and stuff and like marketing.
So you're essentially supporting your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
That is very cool. And it's like a variety of books. You have a lot out here. You've got poetry and dystopian. And is there something you like writing more than something else?
I'm in middle school, so of course I love writing dystopian. So half of my books, I'll even start writing them and they won't mean to be like dystopian. Like maybe they'll be completely different and then I'll somehow turn it into this like oppressive society. So the majority of my books are all in dystopian genre. I do really like fantasy, but more like weird like fantasy. So The Nightmare of Zelda is technically paranormal fantasy. It's just weird, honestly. It was my hardest book to categorize because like I have it in like horror, but also fantasy. Just weird. It's also a ton of fun.
I'm still stuck on the Odyssey book because I keep reading the little word that so the Odyssey, the first adventure, the first one you published with your friend, the first sentence is Cain was a normal kitten. And it's got this adorable little kitten on the cover.
Oh yeah, I did that cover myself.
It's adorable. And then book 2 is what happens when Cain is the only one that can save the world. So this poor kitten.
Yeah, it goes from 1 to 100 really, really quickly. Honestly, I'm trying to figure out a way to describe that book. I've been unable to. I haven't picked it up since 6th grade. And the writing is so, like, it's just bad in it, but it's, like, funny. Honestly, I don't know how much of it was a ripoff of Star Wars, but in a fantasy setting with cats that somehow can talk. It's quite something. I kind of want to rewrite it, and with, like, the writing quality I have now, except I'm starting to do that actually where I'm trying to go back and rewrite some of my old stories. That one's on the list. However, I have some even older ones or even funnier than that I'm really looking forward to rewriting.
The thing is, though, if you spend the time now at 14 years old rewriting these, then when you're 18 and you've written, you know, at this pace, like 30 more books, you're going to be like, oh man, now I have to go back and rewrite these because I've gotten so much better because at the level you're practicing.
Yes.
There's no way you're not going to be like a Pulitzer Prize winner or whatever, the Caldecott winner or something.
Thank you.
Hugo. That would be a good genre for you.
So do you have a lot more in your brain that you want to get out really soon?
Oh yeah, I'm probably either tomorrow or the day after. I'm gonna start writing a new book, and it's kind of
a break.
A rewrite. Yeah, it's kind of like a rewrite / prequel to a book I wrote in 3rd grade. However, I randomly thought of a new book idea, so I'm tempted to go for that one and then this other one. It's kind of complicated in that sense because I have so many book ideas, I don't know how to order them. Like I had one I was really, really, really excited about, and then I didn't do it. But I kind of want to go back and do that one. Yeah, I have time.
I just don't know. I feel like if I don't spend the whole night writing now, I'm just wasting away.
I know. I feel like every grown-up listening to this is going, oh man, what have I been doing? Clearly I'm missing something here. So do you have any advice for the grown-ups who are whining about how they don't have time to write?
Or even people your age, like anything.
Yeah.
I feel like there's always time to write at some point. Like I go to school for 5-6 hours a day. Honestly, I can't count it. It differs per day because sometimes I stay later. Like I go to school like 5 hours a day. I have to sleep. I have some homework to do sometimes. Like I still find like that little time to write where I can do, you know, maybe like 1,000 words or something or 500 words, which is usually just 1,000 per day. And I feel like there's always time to write, even if you're writing like a sentence per day. You just have to find that time because you're not going to complete your book by just being like, oh, you know, I can't really write today. Like you just write.
So now that you're back to school normally, I mean, the pandemic stuff is kind of over. Do you still feel the urge to write as much as you were?
I'd say yes. During when I was on school over Zoom, I was writing 1,000 words a day, and that's what I do now. However, when I don't have school, the writing kicks off. I can do 5,000 words a day is the most I've ever done, or like 5,500. So over the summer, I'm gonna try to do like that much, like either every single day or like 3,000 words a day. Honestly, it depends on how I feel, but usually per book, I try to stick to the same amount.
So like Nano's just every day for her.
Yeah.
Do you know about National Novel Writing Month?
Yeah, I haven't actually done it, but I should.
You already have.
You've done it like 6 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it officially and get the little sticker and everything. Yeah.
And the shirt.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I did it. No problem. So you mentioned that some of your previous ones you wrote with friends. Do you still try and write with friends, or was that just once you got started?
That was definitely at the beginning. I think now it's hard to write with other people just because like your writing styles conflict. So if I were to write with another writer, I would try to see if we could make it so like the book's in like a dual perspective and we each like write a character's point of view. Because like otherwise I feel like it's like the writing styles conflict and you don't know like where to write, and like that's kind of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true. It's hard to find the perfect person to write with because you each have your own idea of where it needs to go and who these people are, and it's just difficult to mesh. Oh my gosh, you even did one of your books as a proceeds. All proceeds earned on this book will be donated to support foundations that help with anti-bullying, anti-sexual assault, and suicide prevention.
I support this message.
So that is You Won't Know Her Name.
Yeah.
Which has the prettiest cover.
It does.
I just looked it up. It's beautiful.
That one's like my favorite cover.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. I would like frame that as a poster. It's really beautiful.
I'm gonna do that. I've been trying to make it fit. I'm gonna get a giant poster and like a massive poster. Because I have a bunch of blank space on my wall. I just moved. I'm still trying to decorate my room, even though we actually moved in September, so we didn't like just move. But that's one of the things that's on my room decoration list is a massive You Won't Know Her Name poster.
So what do your parents think about all this writing?
My parents, they're really impressed and they're really surprised because I didn't even see this coming. 2 years ago, I wanted to be a computer programmer, actually, besides an author. Like, I feel like author was something like I always wanted to be. However, I didn't think I would be able to this young, so it was kind of like, maybe if you have time when you're older, you should write, like, one book, and that would be really cool. I don't think that went according to plan.
That's okay. This plan was better. I like this plan. It's a good plan.
Me too.
Are you gonna go to college for something, or are you just gonna write books forever?
I want to go to college for probably, I was going to say creative writing, but I don't know how necessary that's going to be. Definitely like English or maybe marketing. I want to go to college for something for like the experience of it and then to have a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could still do programming. There's no reason you can't be an author and a programmer.
That's true.
True. In fact, that could come in handy.
Yeah, make a video game based on the books.
Yeah, there you go. The first ever video game entirely written, coded, and designed by one human.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm impressed. So
I know. I feel like I need to go write things. I'm clearly... Do you, like, go to schools and tell other kids how awesome you are? Or do you just, like, keep that on the down low in your own family? Like
do your teachers know?
Oh,
yeah.
My teachers do know. They're really impressed, too, and they're really supportive. I've had mostly supportive teachers, except for my 7th grade math teacher. That doesn't really matter now. Yeah.
Correct.
It's like... Pretty much everyone at school knows about my books, especially, kind of spoiler alert, You Won't Know Her Name is incredibly based off of a lot of stuff that happened at the school I currently attend. So everyone knows that. And there's kind of just this, like, sort of respect of the book from the students. So, like, everyone at least knows about that book, and a lot of people own it and will read it during class, and it's quite amusing for me because I'll turn around and someone's like reading my book. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that book. Yeah, that's a good book. Maybe don't look into what it's about too much.
So, since it's about bullying, have you had any bullying over this in any of your schools? I mean, there's always going to be that jerk. Is anyone giving you a hard time about this?
Over my books, I want to say not particularly. There are some kids who will make, like, some comments to me, like, you're obsessed with writing, you should stop. But that was, like, right when I was writing Biomlock. As of now, honestly, the worst I've been bullied over my books is from my 7th grade math teacher because he just was awful, and he was like, you're never going to be a writer, or I don't care about your poetry. And the problem with him saying I'm never going to be a writer is I already had published books then, so I think I'm technically a writer.
I think, yes, I would say yes.
Oh, it would be so hard not to mouth back at that man.
We're not going to comment on teachers who aren't supportive of students. Yes, we are. Be supportive of students, damn it.
Yes.
I'm completely inspired and also, like, a little, I don't want to say embarrassed, that's not really the word, but, like, your energy and you're just like, yeah, I'm doing this and this is the thing I'm doing and everybody just like step back because it's amazing is so cool.
I think envious.
Thank
Envious
you.
is a good word.
When you're a grown-up, like when you're like 18, we should be friends.
Yeah.
And by then,
I don't know. She might not have time for us then because she'll have book signings.
I was going to say she's going to have like 46 books out by then, if my math is right, which it's usually not. By then, yeah, we can do like one of those big events and we can do like a live stream of her, giant author signing with people like wrapped around the building 3 times. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I keep goals for how many books I want to have written by like each like age kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to have written 20 books by the time I turn 15, which sounds absolutely insane, even to me. I don't know if I can do it. However, it's like I'm at 16 right now. I'm going to start writing number 17. So it's like I have the entire summer too. So it should work out. It's kind of stressful though.
Okay, and how long are these books? I mean, are they novella size? Are they normal novel size?
So for context, like I think my average word count, I have a few books that are like shorter because I have 3 novellas besides Odyssey, and then I have my poetry, but that's only 2 books. So the majority of my books are around 60,000 words, 65,000. It's getting higher again. Like Biomlock was 250,000 words, so it was like 800 pages long. Currently, my average is 350 pages and about like 60,000, except the last novel I just finished is 80,000 words, and the one before that was 73,000 words. So they're kind of getting longer again.
So yes, an actual, like that's a book.
Yes, an actual
Every
book.
one of the yes.
That would be a yes.
Is there anything you're looking forward to, like learning, any skill that you really want to, keep working on as you continue to write, or is it just about just writing as many books as you can?
A mix between like writing as many books and like trying to improve like kind of like the writing quality and how that sounds, but also kind of developing like characters. I think I did a really good job of it with Biomlock just because the amount of time I spent on that book and I had to go back and add things. So it's like kind of developing these characters so they feel like real actual people.
Mm-hmm.
And then just in terms of like being an author, I want to learn how to do book signings. I've been talking to bookstores for months. Actually, I do have a virtual book signing coming up the end of April.
Yay!
So yeah, there's that. It's like kind of stuff like that, like more marketing and kind of just all this stuff to kind of connect with readers.
Oh, are your books only on Amazon or are they wide?
They're everywhere pretty much. I know some of them are on Barnes & Noble and they're on like most indie bookstores' websites. I have a few of them now that are actually sold in stores in various places. I have to keep a list of it. I'm not too good at that because I kind of try to keep track of where they are so I can tell people. But yeah, they're in some bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to be your first virtual launch?
It will be. It's a book signing for You Own Her Name. I've literally never done a book signing before. I know I was talking with a bookstore about doing one in May. I've been talking with another one for months about doing one. But yeah, this is like officially like first kind of author event. So I'm super nervous, but I think it's going to go well.
You got this.
Yeah, you'll be great. And if you want to, I think we have a podcast maybe about author events that you can go back and listen to. But like basically you go, you sign books and everybody's really excited to see you. And maybe you read something and then they ask you a bunch of questions like we're doing and they get to see your smiling face while they ask the questions. That's
okay,
it.
That sounds good.
Pretty easy. Yeah, you're going to love it. It's going to be great. Well, I am so excited that you exist on this planet because you are an amazing human. If people want to keep track of your many, many books, where can they find you? Do you have a website or social media or an Amazon page? What's your...
So I have a website, which I keep forgetting to update, but it has all of my books and everything, and it's shantihershenson.com, ShantiHershenson.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. I post a lot there, not as much as I do on TikTok, but my Instagram is just at Shanti Hershenson. And then I do have a TikTok account. It's honestly my main source of marketing right now. I just hit 21,000 followers on there. And my TikTok account is at Shanti Who Writes.
Fabulous. Okay, so everyone go follow Shanti because like you need this energy in your life. We'll maybe have you back next year when you've written 10 more.
Okay.
Okay, cool.